Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 2. And now the new series is going to be started. What if Naruto had the Sharingan and the Byakugan mix? Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual, share this to all of your friends on your social media platform, and also go ahead and check out a new episode of Uchiha Naruto the Sage I did on this channel, and also switch across the Anime King, my main channel guys. And if you do enjoy the 600 plus whatever over there, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and be a part of the channel. And thank you all for your support and help, and also comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be replying and talking back to all of you. So, I did a new episode of What If Naruto went missing for 4 years. I also did an episode of What If Naruto was trained by Kaguya, and I also did an episode of What If Naruto created his own village. So go ahead and check it out, and if you do enjoy, remember to click that red subscribe button and join the Anime King family. And if you do enjoy this, What If Naruto had the Sharingan mixed with the Byakugan, comment down below and tell me so I can continue this series for you guys. So without further ado, let's get straight into this. We start this series 12 months before the attack on the village by the masked man who was using the 9 tails. As in the park of Konoha, currently a Uchiha and a Hyuga are sitting down on the bench. The Uchiha eyes are widened because he just heard news from his girlfriend that surprised him. What? He asks. Did I hear you correctly? As the girl repeated, yes, I am pregnant. As we currently have Aizen Uchiha and Natalie Hyuga, as the both of them had a secret relationship, because right now the Uchihas and the Hyugas aren't on good terms, as they didn't want their clans mixing together. But Aizen and Natalie met a long while back. As they get to know each other, at first they hated each other because of their different clans, but then they get to care about each other and start to develop feelings. And eventually they became an item, but they keep it in secret so their clans won't find out about it. But now she just told him news. Natalie just told Aizen some news, so they have to tell their secret to their clan heads. As now a child was involved, and Natalie was in the main clan of the Hyuga house, and Aizen was part of the main police force and one of Fukaku's main soldiers. So they have to come clean with their secret. Are you sure? Aizen asks her. No, we can just run away from this village and be together. As she gave him a small nudge on the shoulder. Don't be silly. And don't worry, we will get through all of this. And you know what? What if this is a thing that joined the two clans together? What if this child is the reason why the Uchiha and the Hyuga clans become close friends in the future, she said, as she held on to her stomach. As Aizen then touched her stomach. I hope you're right. Okay, said Natalie. Now, I will tell the head of the clan tonight, and you will do the same, am I right? Said Natalie. As Aizen gulped. Alright, I'll do the same. And if things don't work out, me and you will leave this place. And we will live a good life together and raise our child somewhere peaceful and nice. As Natalie just nodded, that is the last resort, she said, as they went off their separate directions. About an hour later, you are what? Said a loud voice, as Natalie was currently standing in front of the head of the Hyuga clan, which was Hayashi's father, as she was cowering under his gaze. Sir, yes, you heard me right, I am pregnant. And I need you to repeat carefully what you just said about who the father is, he said in an angry tone. It is Aizen Uchiha of the Uchiha clan. You dare come into my presence after having a child with a member of the Uchiha clan? You dare spread our bloodline to the Uchiha clan? And now you come in here to tell me, what is it that you want me to do? As Natalie just looked at him, I was hoping that this can create a bond between us and the Shut your mouth, girl. This will not create a bond. You just sell yourself like some kind of lap dog. You just gave the Uchihas a glimpse of our Byakugan that is now in their grasp. If that child born, none of us know what kind of bloodline he will come out with. If it's a mix with the Byakugan or the Sharingan, or he will just have the Sharingan, and he will still be a part of the Uchiha clan, which they then can use to produce more Hyugas in their clan. And then the Hyuga clan will be overrated, since they will have both Uchiha and Hyuga. As he looked at Natalie, pure hate in his eyes, Aizan went to talk to the leader of the clan, Fukaku, so he can come and talk to you as well, she said, as she was still cowering under his gaze. That is all? He asked. Yes, sir, she said. Get out of my sight. As she just nodded and walked away. As he sat down, what had this girl done, he said to himself. I must fix this wrong. As he said it out loud, as Natalie was standing at the door and she heard him, as she then quickly rushed off, as she held on to her stomach while she was walking at a fast pace. Back with Aizan, he just told Fukaku everything, as Fukaku was just looking at him in silence, as Aizan was sweating as he wondered what was going to happen, as Fukaku walked up to him and placed a hand on his shoulder, as Aizan looked up confused. Even though I may not like this is still your child, and I won't hold any ill intention towards your child. So, I will have a meeting with the head of the Hyuga clan. But if things don't go the way we hope, the girl will have to give up her clan and come and live at the Uchiha compound. I don't know if she's going to do that, sir. That is the only way, Aizan, said Fukaku. As we have another time skip right here, as both Fukaku and Hayashi's father was sitting in a room, as two Uchihas were behind Fukaku. Aizan was one of them and the other Uchiha, and Hayashi was behind his father and another Hyuga as well. As the both of them were talking about arrangement, as the Hokage has nothing to do with this is clan matters, so that is why the Hokage is not at this meeting. Hayashi's father is currently glaring at Fukaku. I won't allow this. If this child is born and it possesses the eyes of the Byakugan, the child will be here, not at your compound, where you can explore the child and the capabilities of the Byakugan. I never said anything like that, said Fukaku. The only thing I said is if this arrangement doesn't go through well, then the mother and the child will be living at the Uchiha compound. And who told you that I will allow that to happen? Hayashi's father asked. Because I know the way you treat people who you found not worthy. You treat them like total trash, and I don't believe that the mother will survive if this arrangement don't go through. If she stay here with you, you will obviously do something terrible to her, so I won't allow that. This is my clan, and I will do whatever I want in my clan, said Hayashi's father. Well, then let's come up with a good arrangement, so nothing bad will take place. Then what do you propose? Hayashi's father asked. Well, I suggest that they keep their child, and we quell this silent fight that the Uchihas and the Hyugas have, said Fukaku as he looked at Hayashi's father. As he just looked at him. You want to quell this secret fighting, so when the child is born, where will the child be? Hayashi's father asked. Well, the child will be able to go to both compounds and live with the mother or the father. As Hayashi's father nodded, well, that is acceptable. So, you agree to this? Fukaku asked. As Hayashi's father nodded, yes, it is acceptable. So then, I guess this meeting is over. as Haishi's father nodded and got up, as Fukaku got up and walked away as well, without saying anything, as Aizan turned to Fukaku. Well, that was easy. Too easy, said Fukaku. Back with Haishi's father, as Haishi left the room, and the other, Hayuga, was there. Sir, so are you really going to allow this to stand? No. Once that child is born, that woman, she will disappear. And I will take that child, and I will use he or her to my own benefit. And also, if it possesses the eyes of the Sharingan, much better. Or if it possesses a new dojutsu that is mixed with both Sharingan and the Byakugan, that would be much better, Haishi's father said, with a slight grin. You may leave now, he said, as the Hyuga then went off. So, time is going to pass through quickly right here, as when Aizan gave the good news to Natalie, she was very happy that her child would be the thing that bring the Uchiha and the Hyuga clan together. I told you, she said, as she gave Aizan a big hug, as he hugged her back. As the months passed, as her stomach started to get big, as we skip straight to the birthing date, as everything went along calm and nice. The birth happened in the morning, as Aizan was currently holding on to his baby son. And for not making it complicated, I'm going to be calling him Naruto, even though if they had a child it wouldn't be named Naruto, but just for the story. Aizan was currently looking down at his son, that had strange features. You have to look closer to see it, as his hair was dark and part of it was dark blue. Part of it was completely black and the other part was dark blue. As Aizan knew that he got some of his hair from him, and he got some of the hair from Natalie. Natalie was currently resting after giving birth, as she was really tired. As for the baby eyes, they were a hollow color, as Aizan first thought that it was a Byakugan because it had a mixture of silver and hollow in it. But it was not the Byakugan. That is just how his eyes are. Later that night, little Naruto was currently in a nursery, as he was the only child that born this night, as this is the night when the attack happened. And as for Kushina and Minato, they weren't able to have children because of the ninth tail stopping them because of his chakra flow inside of Kushina's body, as Kushina was very upset about this. But as long as she was with Minato, she knew that she would be alright. Currently in the night, Kushina went by the Hokage tower as she gave Minato his dinner, as he told her that he would spend the night here because of the lot of paperwork, as he apologized for that. But she told him that it would be alright, as she was now heading home, as the village was calm and nice, but the streets were empty. Suddenly, a masked man appeared in front of her, but before she could finish that sentence, she was sucked away in a vortex. She then arrived to a strange place as she looked around. Chains then wrapped around her hands and legs, as she was tied up, as she struggled to get free, but she couldn't, as she looked at the chains to see that they had chakra marks on it to suppress her chakra. Who are you and what do you want? She asks. My name is none of your concern, and my identity as well, but you do have something I want, and that is the beast roaming inside of you. The beast, the Kyuubi, said Kushina as she looked at the masked man. What do you want with the Kyuubi? Nothing much, just to destroy the village, he said, and make a certain person pay for being too slow. He then disappeared and appeared in front of her, as he put his hand on her stomach where the seal was. He then ran through hand sign as he slammed his hand on it and started to extract the beast out of her. As Kushina looked up at her hands, she had a seal on her wrist that she could pump chakra to that would inform Minato that something was wrong, but at the moment she was all tied up. as she was defenseless to do anything but screamed out as the Ninetale was being ripped out of her. After the Ninetale emerged from her, the masked man then freed the chain as Kushina dropped down to the rock. As the masked man put the Ninetales under his control with the Sharingan, as he then looked down at Kushina. Finish her. As the Ninetale brought up his palm and came down hard, but Kushina pushed Chakra to the seal as the Ninetale slammed his hand down and the rock was destroyed. But Kushina was already gone as Minato appeared on a tree. With Kushina in his hand, the moment he felt the signal, he instantly Harishin right over here and teleported her away with speed, as he had no clue what was going on, but he was currently looking at the Kyuubi as the masked man then did something and the Kyuubi disappeared. It's him, said Kushina as she looked at the masked man. Minato then vanished as he brought Kushina home as he rested her on the bed. I'll be right back, he said as he put on his cape, as he then vanished again as he appeared where the masked man was, as the man was there waiting for him. The man then chuckled darkly to himself. Why should you have a happily ever after with her? The masked man asked. What are you talking about, said Minato as he pulled out his three-pronged kunai. Well, I guess I should destroy your hope. As the masked man disappeared in a swirling vortex, as Minato thought it over what he just said. Why should you have a happily ever after with her? I guess I should destroy your hopes. Kushina, as Minato vanished, but he was too late. When he arrived home, Kushina was on the ground, as there was a rod piercing through her back, and it burst through her chest. As Minato dropped on his knees, as he looked at the dead body of Kushina, as he couldn't believe this, as pure rage and anger started to build up inside of him. Meanwhile, the masked man was back in the village as he ran through hand sign, summoning jutsu as he slammed his hand on the ground as the Ninetale emerged and started to destroy the village, as all of the Uchihas were to stay behind around their compound so that they wouldn't be able to control the Ninetales, as the Uchihas were pissed about this, but Fukaku told them all to go to their district and just listen, as they headed off. Back with Minato, he was still holding on to Kushina crying, as he then heard a voice, come and fight me, Fourth Hokage. As instantly he got up, as he rushed towards the door, as he slammed it open, as he saw the masked man standing there. Minato then rushed forward with pure anger, but the moment he reached the man, he went right through him, as the man caught him in his chains, but Minato vanished as he appeared a distance away. Minato rushed forward again, as this time he threw a three-pronged kunai. As Minato was rushing forward same way, I have got you now, the masked man said, as he was preparing to suck Minato in. But in an instant, Minato vanished, as he appeared above the man and slammed the Rasengan into his back, as Minato then placed a seal on him. Minato then flipped back as the man jumped out of the crater. His arm got burst off. Minato then vanished as he appeared in front of the masked man and slammed his hand on the chest as markings went all over his body. As the masked man then moved back a distance, as back with the Ninetale, his eyes returned back to normal. As the masked man jumped away from Minato, you truly are fast, he said, but the destruction that is caused today would scar you for life. As he then sucked himself in a swirling vortex and vanished. Meanwhile, all of this was going on. Sarutobi and the rest of the ninjas were forcing the Ninetale out of the village, as they were quite successful pushing the Ninetale back, as Minato then went off to help. Some minutes later, Minato, Sarutobi, Fukaku, and Hayashi's father were all in a room, as they didn't know how to stop the Ninetales from destroying the village, as Minato only had one idea, to seal the Ninetale into someone. But seeing that he doesn't have a child, and there are no newborns, well, there is one, said Fukaku, as Hayashi's father looked at him. Yes, there is one. A child born today? Minato asks, as Fukaku and Hayashi's father then told Minato the details of the child between the Hyuga and the Uchihas. As, knowing that it was the only option, Minato told Hayashi's father to talk to the mother first, and he told Fukaku to talk to the father, so they should know what to do. About 20 minutes later, Hayashi's father came back with the baby. So, did the mother approve? Minato asks, as he was too busy to talk to them because he was preparing the seal. Yes, she did. What about the father? Minato asks, as Fukaku just nodded. Alright, it's time to do this. No, Minato, I will do it, said Sarutobi. Because if you do this, you will die. Sarutobi, you cannot perform this seal. The only reason that I am able to do this, it's because Kushina taught me how to do it. As Minato, in the 20 minutes of preparing the seal, he told them everything that happened and about the masked man. But right now, Sarutobi could not perform the seal, so he couldn't do it. Minato was the only one. And Minato was in a depressed state, so he wanted to do it. Kushina is dead, and he didn't have any child of his own, so he doesn't have a legacy to pass on anything to. And now Kushina is gone, so he's the only one. As he then told Sarutobi to tell Jiraiya that he's sorry, as he vanished with the baby. As Sarutobi quickly rushed over there with Hayashi's father and Fukaku, but when they arrived, everything was over, and the Ninetale was gone. Minato was dead because of a Dead Reaper seal, and also, baby Naruto was on the ground, just crying, a seal now on his stomach. So, he did it, said Hayashi's father, as Fukaku nodded. This child has the Kyuubi inside of him, said Sarutobi. So what are we going to do with this information? Hayashi's father asked. Well, said Sarutobi, seeing that no one knew about this child, and he is basically a secret, we will keep this for a secret for now. Are you sure about that? Fukaku asked. Yes. People are just going to look at him with resentment and hatred if they know that he has a beast inside of him that killed their loved ones and their family. So we will keep it a secret. No one will know about this. As Hayashi's father then walked up to the baby and picked him up. He needs his mother right now, he said, as he walked off because Fukaku or Sarutobi didn't stop him, as long as the seal is in contact. Days later, Aizen hadn't seen his son or Natalie, as he was currently going towards the Hyuga compound. As the guard stopped him, I am here to see my son, he said. Your son? The guards then looked at him, as Hayashi's father walked out. He's here to see me, you can let him in. As he then walked in, as Hayashi's father gestured for him to sit down. As he then saw Naruto in a crib, he walked over to Naruto and picked him up. Where's Natalie? He asked. She's dead, Hayashi's father said. What? Aizen asked as he was completely shocked. I am afraid she is. How is this possible? After laying with you, the council decided that she shouldn't be in the main clan of the Hyuga. So, we have the birdcage seal placed on her. And that night that we came and sealed the beast inside of Naruto, that secret that you were sworn to never tell, she didn't want to give him up. So, we had to resort to using the birdcage seal to make her give us the baby, but she wouldn't no matter what. So in the end, she fight and fight until it was too much and she died. You monster, said Aizen. As his Sharingan activated, it had the 3 totem in them. He was a member of the police force, so he already had his Sharingan. I know you hated her, but to go to this result and kill her? You bastard, I'll make you pay for this, said Aizen, as he was about to rush towards Hayashi's father. But 2 Hyuga guards stood in front of him. If you attack our leader, then this means war. As Hayashi stand down, knowing that it wouldn't be good to be a war for the Uchihas and the Hyugas right now. Oh, said Hayashi's father, you can take your child, this child doesn't have any bloodline of the Byakugan, so we don't want him in our clan. You rotten bastard! I'll make sure you pay for this, said Aizan. And how will you do that? Haishi's father asked. As Aizan just walked out as he took the baby with him. He then went home as he told Fukaku what happened, as Fukaku knew that something like this will happen after she gave birth. And after Haishi's father tests the baby to see if he has any bloodline of the Byakugan, as he tried to comfort Aizan as the best as he could, but Aizan was still pissed. But even though he still had his son, and he now had to take care of him by himself, so he had to do lesser patrol on the police squad. So both Naruto and Aizan lived at the Uchiha compound, as we had a 2-year time skip, and both baby Sasuke and both baby Naruto will play with each other, seeing that they're the only small baby right now, as Itachi would babysit the two of them most times, as Aizan and Itachi also had a relationship as friends, as Itachi took baby Naruto like his own little brother, but he still cared about his brother a lot as well. As the time then went on, with both Naruto and Sasuke growing up in the Uchiha compound and becoming like families, like brothers, as they were with each other so much, they basically call each other brothers. So eventually they grew up, as we came to the tragic day when Itachi had to wipe out the entire clan. We start this day with both Naruto and Sasuke, as the both of them were in the forest, as the two of them had nets, catching butterfly as they were looking around at the beautiful sight, as the both of them played for the entire day. Unknowing to them, Itachi was planning on massacring the entire clan. After a long while, night started to come, as the both of them went so far in the forest, they kind of lost their way. So it took them a while of going around and looking around in the entire forest to find the exit, as they realized that it was really late, and they rushed home. Itachi had the masked man wipe out the police force, so Aizan was killed by the masked man. As the both of them entered the Uchiha compound, as they looked around, as they saw the bodies on the ground. What is this? The both of them wondered to themselves. As they looked at each other, both of them freaking out, not knowing if this is some sort of genjutsu or something like that. No, this can't be. Dad, said Naruto as he rushed forward towards the police force. He then arrived as Sasuke rushed home to go and check on his mother and father and his brother. Naruto quickly opened the giant doors as he entered to see his father's friends on the ground dead. As he started to walk to the back room where the meetings were being held, when he entered, he saw something that shocked him: his father's dead body on the ground. Naruto dropped to his knees as he let out a scream, as he was so enraged by the situation. His eyes, for a second or two, went white with the Byakugan, but that wasn't all. It also had a weird marking in it, but his eyes then returned back to normal, as Naruto cried over his father's dead body, as he couldn't believe this was happening. Meanwhile, Itachi was giving Sasuke the speech about him doing this to gain his own power. When Naruto finally arrived at Sasuke's house, he saw Sasuke on the ground and no one was there. As he rushed over to Sasuke, he then slowly picked him up as he put him on his shoulder, as the both of them were basically the same size, but Naruto couldn't lose someone else as he didn't know what was wrong with Sasuke, as he quickly started to rush through the village. As the first place he went was to Sarutobi. As he got there, he knocked on the door. "Come in," said Sarutobi. As he finished all of his work for today as a Hokage, Since that Minato died, he is now the Hokage again. When he reached the door and opened it, he saw a panting Naruto standing there. Naruto! As he saw blood over Naruto's hands, as he saw the unconscious Sasuke on his shoulder, as Naruto dropped to his knees, and Sasuke fell as well. But guys, I'm gonna be ending this episode right here. If you want to see the next part of this, you already know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. Remember to share this to all of your friends, your social media platform, and comment down below and tell me what you think of this. And if you enjoy it, tell me guys, so I can continue this story. But for now, I'm out of here guys. Peace.